Douglas Politics Friday night, 7:30. I would like to beg each and every one of you to pay attention to Douglas Politics. I want to beg you to listen, beg you to analyze, beg you to hear, beg you to share. I want to beg you to give me your attention so that we can dissect the issues of the day, provide solutions, and let you know why Trinidad and Tobago is in such chaos. I beg you to get rid of the PNM. I beg you to get rid of Rowley. I beg you to take that small pin and stick it where the sun don't shine. I beg of you to look at Douglas Politics Friday night, 7:30. Let's all be beggars together.
This is Douglas Politics, yo. Douglas Politics. Listen, Douglas Politics, yeah. Douglas Politics. This is Douglas Politics, yeah. Douglas Politics. This is Douglas Politics. Douglas Politics. This is Douglas Politics, yo. Douglas Politics.
Good evening and welcome to Douglas Politics. We're doing it different because rain, traffic down and south all across the board. We're doing it different. Archie so, I so, Vishnu so, everybody so. We begging all you to join us, please. We begging, please join us. Please share the live. Share the live. We have a lot of action here today. Please, I beg of you, share the live. Starting off, let me tell you something. Bacchanal start one time, on the very same day that Keith Christopher Rowley in his conversations with an idiot started to attack Ansa McCall and Sabga. Guardian Media Limited, who is a member of the corporate portfolio of Ansa McCall, Guardian Media Limited, printed an editorial on that very Thursday, 18th March 2021. And let me read the nonsense, the abject stupidity, and the continuation of the propping up of the incompetence of Rowley. This was printed, and people started to get their papers all 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and started to read this nonsense by the Guardian. About 12 hours later, 14 hours later, at 7:38 p.m., Rowley would attack Ansa McCall, attack the Guardian in the most vile, unprofessional manner in history. But it's good. Let me tell you why it's good. Hear what the Guardian print that very same morning. So I'm going to listen to this, this is your paper. For 10 years, your paper talk all this nonsense. For 10 years, you had Judy Raymond there for most of it, and you had Anika Gum-Sandiford, and you had your man Gabriel Faria, and you had your PNM boy Jerry Brooks, and all you print lie after lie on camera, and Logan, Anil, the partnership government, lie after lie without retraction. Now you're vexed when Rowley lie on audio. Listen to the Guardian. Better news on vaccine front. Now first and foremost, if any human being could think that in Trinidad and Tobago there is good news, better news, or positive news on the vaccine front, then something is wrong with you. We are dead ass. We are the worst. We have no hope of reaching herd immunity before 2022. Did you all hear me? We have no hope of reaching herd immunity before 2022. And that is not January, probably midway 2022, because you need to hit 80% of your population. At minimum, some scientists say you could escape on the low end with 70%, but ideally, it's 80%. We have no hope of hitting that this year. So all of y'all who say, oh, Paul, yes, break free, sing soca. When COVID done, we go wine and we go jam and carnival, we make money and job will go. Not under Rowley and them. But the Guardian found something positive to write about last week, Thursday. Tell the Guardian. The news that Trinidad and Tobago, along with other Caribbean countries, will in 3 weeks receive COVID-19 vaccines approved by the World Health Organization could not have come sooner for this country. So on Thursday, the Guardian is bigging up Rowley and them that we might get some vaccines that are WHO approved in 3 weeks. 33,600, to vaccinate 16,000 people. The Guardian find that is excellent. That's good. That's praiseworthy. That's positive. It continued. Down at the bottom, in the middle of the editorial, we hear them. Getting enough vaccines to create herd immunity must take place over a relatively short period of time. If, as the government has said, it trusts the science. The reason speed is important is because you want to firstly avoid new variants being produced from mutating the virus. The other reality is that unless we have a herd immunity, we cannot stop the virus, and it means we are all at risk. And thirdly, we cannot continue to live under the type of restrictions that are choking businesses. This will do permanent damage to the country's economy. This in the same editorial that they start off saying, great news, we're getting 16,000 vaccine for 16,000 people in 3 weeks' time. The USA hit 200 million. Israel fully vaccinated, herd immunity, planes started to fly, people started to do the Jerusalem dance in the airline industry, and we have not one vaccine yet. But the Guardian, on that very same Thursday, tried to prop up Rowley again. But little did they know that Rowley and Dayal Singh, for whatever reason, were coming to attack Ansa McCall, to lie on Ansa McCall, and to say that Ansa McCall was dishonest and a conglomerate that was trying to profit on the pain, suffering, and death of a nation. That's what Rowley said, attacking Safgan and Ansa McCall, so much so that Dayal Singh said in the Senate, Dayal Singh, he's boasting. So in total, well, this is even worse for the Guardian, right? Dayal Singh in the Senate, in response to Senator Wade Mark's question, hear what he said, because we heard now that we're getting 40,000 vaccines from India. And Rowley, the coward, jump in line quick. He said, I'm taking that. He's the one telling me about China. He and they are saying China, and wonton too. Right? Them tell me about that. He have 100,000 coming. Rowley had taken that. He leaving that for grannies, women, and children. All they take that. He lining up because of his office. He's sick, and his office, he going for the Indian vaccine that he didn't want, that he attacked, that he said the whole world was begging, that this Judy Raymond, who, wherever he offering that Kamala can offer, whatever Rowley have that Judy Raymond like, then Kamala don't have it. She write a whole editorial to attack Modi and India on their domestic policy, treating Muslims and so on, to say that we shouldn't take the vaccine. What say you now, Judy Raymond? When your boy Rowley say he's the first man rushing to the head of the line to take the Indian vaccine that Kamala get for we. Because Rowley said that same Thursday night of this editorial that anybody, all the CARICOM leaders, all the world, or everybody who asking India for vaccine, you're beggars, you're begging. But he running for the begging vaccine, and now he switching tune and thanking Modi, praising Modi, and telling the country, I taken that first. Anyway, Senator Mark is a very astute politician. In the Senate, he thanked the right person. Archie, just run that video for me. You're quite down in South, I up in the North. Run it for me.
Senator Mark.
Yes, I would like to say congratulations to the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar for prevailing upon the Indian government to supply us with 40,000 doses of vaccine.
Is that a
Madam President, may I just ask the question directly?
Senator Mark, please ask the question.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Yes, Senator Mark, exactly. Because Rowley, they said he didn't know nothing about that. He don't know CARICOM, didn't know nothing about that. He lied on the CARICOM General Secretary, the CARICOM News Agency, CARICOM Prime Minister. He said he asked all of them and nobody knew nothing about no 500,000 doses. He blew them out, somebody sent out a tweet. But all of a sudden now, it reached. But Amy Brown set up Rowley, because Amy Brown said on February 23rd, Rowley wrote to Modi, the Prime Minister, and said that he would like to request a donation of vaccines. If he said that on the 23rd of February, how was it on Thursday, March 18th, he is talking about being beggars when he done beg already? So somebody not telling the truth. Because how Rowley could be calling everybody else beggars because he did not beg and he was too proud to beg. But Amy Brown come and say that he begged since a month before. Which one is the truth? Them that lie so much you don't know. But here the dangerous part now. They are answering Wade Mark in that same Senate sitting. Hear what he said and let me quote. So in total, we expect in the incoming weeks and a couple of months, a total of 173,600 doses. Let me read that again. So in total, we expect in the incoming weeks and couple of months, a total of 173,600 months. We are at the end of March. Months is April, May. End of May, he's talking about 173,000 doses, which means 87,000 citizens will be vaccinated. The 1,000 already vaccinated because of Mia and Motley, that did, plus the 86,000 because it's 2 doses, so 173,600. Okay, now that also includes 100,000 Chinese vaccine that nobody had taken. So really and truly, it's only 73,000 vaccine that is coming. Because who taking that Chinese vaccine? Rowley and all who went and begged for it and tell me about it, run to tell all that, he not taking that. So who going and take it? And let me tell you, as we talking about Chinese vaccine, I had already told you that COVAX, as I explained, their first tranche, their first plan, their first phase is about 20% of each economy, 20% of your population. And that is to be done by December 2021. In their first tranche, they were supposed to give Trinidad and Tobago 100,800 jabs. They couldn't do that because of supply. They're giving us 33,600. And then they will give us that other 60-something thousand by May. So by May, if all you use the Chinese vaccine, because me and know who's going to take that, I telling all you that the qualification to take that, you must have a PNM card. If you don't have a PNM card, you should not be allowed to take the Chinese vaccine. Only left foot, right foot, left jab, left shoulder, right shoulder, jab, 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 take that side of palm. Because, look at this, I actually put up that article there for me. On this Chinese vaccine, China might be great in diving, China might be great in manufacturing, China might be great in economic diversity, China might make good car, China might make good athletes, China might be good at farming, and Chinese food is delicious. But in vaccine this year, they're not so good, because this comes from the Financial Times, and the Financial Times says that the Chinese vaccine, and China was boasting that they are going to develop and vaccinate the developing countries, but they have had supply issues. They've had high prices in Hungary and Russia. They're paying $36 for one vaccine, and you need 2 doses and so on. And then more importantly, they have unexplained instances of low immunity after they take the vaccine. In Peru, the Peru University, Peru Cayetano Heredia University has said that they have unexplained immunity problems, and it's not encouraging with the Sinopharm vaccine from China. 100,000 that the PNM bringing for the PNM people. I telling all the PNM, all the proud, all the arguing, all the praising Rowley, line up for the Chinese vaccine, Leave the roti thing come, leave the curry goat, leave the Indian vaccine for other people, All your Palisade House, General Counsel of the PNM, Constituency Executive, Jelani, I telling you, go in front of the line. How you putting people in front for exemption, Jelani? I giving you an exemption to go in front for the Chinese vaccine that your Prime Minister bringing for you. Now, moving right along, Guardian Media said they reported 7 million profit for 2020. Let me tell you something. And all of that profit come from Rowley and Rowley Ministries and government spending. So answer my call, it's good for you. When they lie on Manning, you prop them up. They lie on Kamla, you prop them up. They lie on Delcy, you prop them up. They lie on the country, they prop them up. They lie on COVID, they prop them up. Now they lie on you, you vex. Imagine We're now reading an editorial from the Newsday from the great Judy Raymond. Now, this editorial, these PNM, they confuse themselves. When you're a PNM, you have to logically argue with yourself. Because in order to prop up the PNM, you have to be lying. Because they really ain't good. Forget politics. Rowley really is the worst. The Alsing really is the worst. Convent Girl really is the worst. Tight Pants is really the worst attorney general in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. But none is worse. Whether it's PNM, whether it's Keith Sobian, whether it is him, whether whoever it was. Ramesh Lawrence, you can't call them men in the same Anand Ram Logan in the same breath as John C. Head Tight Pants. So they are the worst. Whoever want to try and prop them up, you always have to confuse yourself. So here the Newsday. The Newsday editorial, page 12, Friday, March 26, today. They said, all of this, it's talking about what we do in the shadows. And it's talking about the Ansa McCall and the businesses and how a government minister, Convent Girl Dialsing, is cutting deals and talking surreptitiously with companies that this is not proper. All of a sudden, Newsday, you realize that this is not proper when the PNM Rowley has been doing that cutting deal and meeting with CEO everywhere, meeting with CEO for vessels, CEO for biscuits, CEO for housing, Chinese CEO in Europe, CEO for oil, CEO for gas. That's all Rowley doing. He and Smallpin just meeting with CEO and then put Smallpin father in charge of talking to CEO for standards, for hotel, for investment, anything with all their money. Rowley keeping it close and keeping the brethren them in Newman George, A.A. Comina, and the number one man, Noel Garcia, seen by the grocery by my sisters. I see him Saturday. He had one big bag, boy. And I swear, I see Rowley name on the bag, you know. It's a big bag coming out the grocery with. But here the Newsday, Judy Raymond, Judy Raymond said, all of this was done without transparency. Did the minister not see, meaning Convent Girl, the obvious danger in private companies approaching him to bestow gifts on the nation? The government has passed a law allowing the purchase of medical supplies without regulatory oversight. That law is yet to be proclaimed. So this week's picture of a government secretly engaging with big business is not only unsavory. The PNM newspaper, Judy Raymond, you realizing now it's unsavory? Wow, while you wake up. It's unsavory as it is a direct contravention of the spirit of the procurement law, as well as Cabinet's own proposals for campaign finance reform. Reform designed to eliminate the perception of a culture of you scratch my back, I scratch yours in politics. By now, all parties have reconciled, but who can take comfort in any collaboration born out of such shadow dealings? This is the Newsday talking about Convent Girl and his talk about private sector approaching him, confusing himself, telling lies and getting himself in trouble. But now, the real truth came out in this vaccine campaign. The Express and all starting to talk the truth since last year, October. They talk about the missing vaccine campaign. The Express says on the 20th of March 2021, as it stands now, the country's first batch of vaccines supplied under the COVAX facility is likely to arrive before any public awareness campaign gets off the ground. Even under normal circumstances, this is not how it should be, and much less under the extraordinary circumstances of trying to win public confidence for the vaccine already enmeshed in questions and concerns. What this is now talking about, you all keep trying to believe the Alsing telling all you, Rowley telling all you, we are number one in COVID. You have a Yankee Rasta from Chumakak out there in New York said, now we want to big up Keith Rowley for doing number one in COVID. And all you believe that nonsense. Now in Grenada, across the board, poster, media, print media, TV, internet, social media. They have education campaigns on the efficacy of the vaccine, the safety of the vaccine, what is in the vaccine, what it's going to do for you, the safety of the vaccine, and so on, building confidence for the people to get vaccinated. Hey, look, we boy, Archie, easy, boy. Watch him. They want to big up Dr. Rowney, yeah? I hope they get a walk play, boy. You get a vaccine yet out there? You can't even go. You probably not legal. If you go for vaccine, they go send you back here. And there are no vaccine here for you, boy. Oh, Lord. So in Grenada, they're really educating the population. Trinidad and Tobago, not only we have no vaccine, we have not even started to educate our population about the safety, getting rid of the rumors, building the confidence in our population, because speed is essential to herd immunity. But yet we are confusing our population by bringing Chinese vaccine, and the leader who bringing the Chinese vaccine said he not taking that. So who gonna take it, boss man? Mr. Strongman leader, you who we supposed to follow, black man strong forever. We take care of our women and children. They go first. We keep them safe. And we stay on the ship when it's sinking till it sinks. Not so strong, man. You on the Titanic and you dive off first on a helicopter to take Indian vaccine after you disrespect India, Modi, the High Commissioner, Kamala, we ancestry, everybody. You attack everybody and now you rush it to take Indian vaccine and leaving the Chinese vaccine for who? For whom? Another editorial, Daily Express. Vaccine roller coaster. Dealing with all that vaccine, because anybody who come to tell me again, and do you know, even in this news, the editorial, they start off by saying the government has been so good for this COVID pandemic by trying to keep the population abreast and answering questions and giving information. Really? Since it started, this government thwarted debate in the House and the Senate. Since it started, this government has not been doing testing. Since it started, we have no testing. Since it started, there's been misinformation on PCR testing, rapid testing, on who could test, and private lives and car offer. There's been misinformation on masks and who shall have masks and the efficacy of masks, and on contact tracing and even quarantine exemption policy. It has been a total fiasco. But you all still say that they did their best to answer questions. Let them answer. Vaccine roller coaster. The 25th of March 2022 Express. Notably absent from yesterday's announcement of vaccine donations from India and China was any reference to a delivery date or timeline. While many are anxious to have the vaccine, the delay can be made to work in favor. They again say, we last, we dead last, we incompetent. But from every negative, you should have a positive. So the positive should be, because we last and we're so far behind, that at least we should be ahead of education our population, so that when we reach, whenever the vaccine reach, that we will be ready, willing and able, and people will be fighting up and lining up and ready to take the jab. But once again, PNM incompetence and failure. Convan Girl said, play it Archie for them, you know. The Convan Girl said that they're number one. I am asking all you PNM people, some of all you who are on the live and want to cuss Anel and cuss Kamala and cuss UNC. Do you all truly believe now still that PNM, that Rowley, that Convan Girl, that our lives are in good hands and we are number one? Play Convan Girl there for me, Archie.
It reached the point where the Blavatnik School of Government, which is the school of Oxford University, one of the top universities of the world, judged Trinidad and Tobago number one in the world, number one in the world, number one in the world.
For y'all who didn't notice that graph, the nice red color, red, white, and black, Trinidad and Tobago, We dead last in the Caribbean, not the world. We dead last in the Caribbean, not the world. We dead last in the Caribbean. The only thing worse than our vaccination program is the Guyanese goalkeeper. Lord, Guyana, let me play 12. I will take my 3 goals, yes. But oh my goodness, man is a sieve. And all you leave him on, all you have nothing on the bench, all you couldn't have put a defender in a blue jersey and tell him save. 3 of you. That's all they didn't play with a goalkeeper. All they should have just play with 11 men playing out, play with 2 stopper. So, Convandial, who says in number 1, Mr. Sabga, Eddie Douglas, Convandial calling you out. Yeltsin saying you are a liar, Sabga. True? Let me tell you, let me read for you. No, it's kind of dark here. Let me read for you carefully. I can need glasses. This follows a statement by Ansel McCall on Monday, which suggested that it had received a letter from the ministry acknowledging an arrangement for the company to fund the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines. Health Minister Terence Yeltsin has denied this and said the letter was to show appreciation and not linked to vaccine procurement. It is unfortunate that the contents of this letter are being associated with the procurement of vaccines in 2021, when that was not the intention of the letter. So Sabga, the other thing is saying, you take a letter from the ministry that was thanking general companies, 46 companies, you all included, for help last year with flour and casket and whatever. And y'all are trying to use that to lie to the population that the minister and the ministry called you to a meeting and asked you to pay $8.4 million for 351,000 Pfizer vaccine. Sabra, are you telling the truth? Convandial is telling me the country that you lie. The PNM say you lie, Sabra. What say you, boss man? Yeah, and they'll want to know who talking the truth. I happen to know who lying, but let me hear all this now, Sabga. The man called you a liar just so. I want to congratulate Ian Allen for reaching back on CNC3. Hey, just now, Anil might do the brew. CNC. Guardian Media Limited, you have seen the wrong of your ways. You move from Natalie Lago. I can't say that name without thinking about her face for TV. That face really made for radio. And not only normal radio, no. Radio after dark. But anyway, all you have Ian Allen on CNC3 one-time Guardian Media Limited is best you're paying the studio yellow. I bet you better bring Anil to read news. Bring Munilal to run the midday show. And bring Ravi Ratiram to sing tune and bagan on Saturday. Is that But God, when the chickens come home to roost, all you must just be fair. Nobody want all you on we side. Your journalists do the job fair and square. So your prime minister says, and listen carefully, you know, all you think this bully, this bald-head bully. Rowley, stop bullying Kamala and attacking women now. I am saying that you don't like black people. You're an Oreo. You're a disgrace. You're lazy. You're dunce. You only wanted to procure without procurement from since you saw the power of the Prime Minister when you went to the Senate in 1986. You are not a Tobagonian. You have no pride. You are a teacher who took advantage of a girl of school age. You are the scum of the earth. Look, and he'll say that. Say back something now. Stop bullying people. I'm trying hard. I'm picking fight with you. Why you not tell me come out on the pavement and we sort it out? Because where I done with you, your whole Red House gate will fall on you too, not just the policeman. Here all your brave man, Rowley. Here all your bad, strong man who does bully woman and call them geometry and tell them all kind of thing. I'm not in your bedroom. Nobody wants your ugly tail in the bedroom. Anyway, listen to Rowley. The Prime Minister had written to Modi on February 23rd seeking an allocation. In light of the foregoing, he wrote a nice letter, they said, but then he come to tell you a month after about it begging. But he said, when the doses reach from India, I will certainly take the vaccine from this batch. Why dispatch? Why you ain't take the Chinese vaccine that you're bringing for your black people, your left foot, right foot people you love, people who put you in power, the people you dance with, the people and young people, children you take a laptop from, you take food from, you take food off the table, you shut down, you put them out of work. Now you want to kill them too with bad vaccine? Why you don't take the Chinese vaccine that you're boasting about? You're cussing there, you're cussing there, High Commissioner, but now you're running for curry. You're running, you first in line for curry duck and roti. You first in line with aloo and bus shot with pepper mango, curry mango. Eh? Why you don't go and eat one ton? Hey, Mr. Badger, I will certainly take the vaccine from this batch. I am overqualified for that. I am qualified by age. He's 71 years old. By comorbidity, he has had a heart procedure. And by office, the Prime Minister's office advised yesterday that subsequent to official correspondence from the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, they were getting vaccine from India and Rowley rushing to take. That is man, boy. That is man. Throw all the woman, granny, children, throw them at the side and run to save your own life. Your mother must be proud, boy. Your mother must be real proud. You cowardly clown. Actually, take a little break. Let me drink some water now, boy. Because if you were sick, then I don't say nothing. Nah?
Dugla politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago, do we have this thing out to fix? We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race, find and go places, love to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Dugla politics, this is Dugla politics, yo. Dugla politics, listen, Dugla politics, yeah. Dugla politics, this is Dugla politics, yeah. Dugla politics, this is Dugla politics.
And it is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
Some nice cold water. So, relations between Jamaica land we love. I know the Douglas will always delve into the race because you all still want to vote race in Trinidad and Tobago. Jamaica is the proud African. The strongest slaves in the Caribbean were deposited on the island of Jamaica because them was still fighting all on the ship coming down. Chains could not hold them back. The strongest, the most powerful Africans, Caribbean African, is Jamaican. Jamaica is proud black people. Jamaica proud of not only Jamaica, they're proud of the African ancestry. Well, relations between India and Jamaica headed for new highs. While you're down here, who are Indian and African right through. Gandhi Institute, all kind of thing. Where Indian and African was together back in the 1900s up to 1924, fighting the African National Congress and the East Indian National Association joining together to fight to get the Legislative Council under the colonial rule. Indian and African fighting for rights. Slaves and indentured working together. It's only when PNM reached them start a ball massa they down and put Indian so recalcitrant minority and African come so Dr. Williams and the PNM. Jamaica, relations between India and Jamaica headed for new highs. Guest editorial from the Jamaica Gleaner. It may be by happy coincidence, but right at the time that Jamaica was dispatching the first resident High Commissioner to India, the Indian government was gifting Jamaica its first batch of sorely needed COVID-19 vaccine earlier this month. Ambassador Jason Hall began his historic journey to Delhi 2 Saturdays ago, 31 years after the proposed established mission. Jamaica and India working together, and all you're studying India and African in Trinidad, vote left, vote right, and allowing Rowley Smalton small pin, convent girl and recusal twins to take all your money and do with it as they please because all you're playing division. Kamala understood that Rowley was playing games and wasting time and people's lives were at risk. The economy had been shattered before COVID. It was devastated during COVID and continues to be decimated by the incompetence of the PNM under Rowley. So Kamala wrote and called and asked Modi, Prime Minister of India, to send vaccinations. Yes, if you all want to say she begged, because she knew Rowley was incompetent. But it's not only Kamala who know that. Gaston Brown, Prime Minister of Antigua Barbuda, usurped the authority of the CARICOM chairman, who is Rowley. Realize that Rowley on stupidness, Rowley slow, Rowley incompetent, and Rowley don't know what he's doing. And he wrote directly on behalf of CARICOM to Biden for vaccine. The St. Kitts Premier, Nevis Premier, Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Foreign Affairs, also ignored Rowley, did not go through no protocol because them realize Rowley's a clown and they need vaccine to save the people and they not playing no game of protocol and go through and Rowley's chairman. Them don't care. So not only Kamala know that Rowley ain't good, the whole Caribbean knows that. They bypass Rowley. And now, even the PNM, another, not Gaston Brown, you know, Amory Brown. And Senator Lyda was saying that Amory Brown thinks or has some people believing that he could be the next leader of the PNM. I really don't care. The whole of the PNM could go and take the Chinese vaccine and relax themselves. But it looks like Amory Brown is making a move because he attacking Rowley. I was shocked. I nearly dropped my Douglas Politics coffee mug when I was reading this in the morning. Watch it here. It nearly cracked, but it's good quality. It bounced on the table. Here it is, Amory Brown. CARICOM missed vaccine opportunity. Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown said CARICOM may have missed an opportunity to acquire vaccines by not coming together as a region to approach suppliers and vaccine providers. He said some of the misunderstandings between countries, such as those between Trinidad and Tobago and India, could have been avoided if approaches had been done on a regional basis. But Amory, Rowley is the chairman of CARICOM. Rowley is the leader of CARICOM. If there was not a regional approach, a regional plan, a regional modus operandi to getting vaccinations as a region, as a group, approaching different suppliers together and so on, that means Rowley is incompetent. That Rowley is the goat. That Rowley didn't do that. That Rowley dropped the ball. That Rowley made CARICOM fail. Amory, you're going at it hard, boy. You going at Rowley one time, Amory. I feel I have more respect for you. I have none, you know. But I feel I get respect for you, boy. You're battling one time. You come out and hit Rowley a cup just so, Amory. I like that. I must say. Vishnu tape this and I must say, Amory, I'm proud. I have some respect for you. You're not a little pipsqueak after all. You have cojones, Amory. You take on the leader of the PNM just so when he's prime minister, him to come and say he is incompetent because he is the chair of CARICOM and CARICOM dropped the ball and CARICOM should have gone together as a unit to vaccinate and to make their power felt so that they could save lives and CARICOM fail and Rowley fail. Amory! Oh God! Amory, boy, I feel I like you. No, don't get that, bro. Don't get carried away. Now, we're going to deal with a little bit of the economy because I told you all and I kept telling you all, COVID-19 presents two dangers that could devastate an economy and a people. The health issues, actual death, spread of the disease, and economic devastation. Archie, play the Dwayne, the man who devastated your economy before COVID-19, who continues to ensure that we go all dead, either by lack of job, lack of opportunity, lack of food, or just starvation, that the middle class will be obliterated and poverty will reign. Play the Dwayne for me there, Archie, please.
The virus has affected the economy in many different ways, many different ways. The public health restrictions in particular have affected so many areas of business activity. It's affected small business in particular. We did spend a lot of money last year. Last time I checked, it was actually closer to $18 billion. $18 billion that we spent last year, making sure that cash flow continued in the public sector, in the private sector, and so on. We don't have 18 billion this year, unfortunately. What we have to do as a country now is we have to find new ways and means of initiating business activity. So we face a particular problem. Because we can't print money, we have to find other ways of dealing with this. And the way we have dealt with it as a government, we're very fortunate we have a Heritage and Stabilization Fund. We're very fortunate that we have such a fund. But like all the rest of the countries in the world, we have to borrow. And what that is doing is putting pressure on our public debt, putting pressure on our debt service, putting pressure on our debt to GDP ratio. But what the virus has done is simply suppressed business activity. If I could put it in its simplest terms, it has shut things down.
The incompetence has hit new levels. That is your Minister of Finance. $18 billion trying to blame COVID-19. Before COVID-19, over 103,000 people had lost their jobs. Petrotrin had been shut down. $2 billion US locked out of the system. The negotiation that Smallpin and Rowley did with the upstreamers had ensured that the profitability of NGC was gone. NGC has made a loss for the first time in 42 years. But back in 2018 to 2019, after the negotiation in Houston, NGC's profit went down from 1.86 billion US down to 300 million based on Rowley's stupidity, based on the lack of performance, the lack of investment, the lack of attractiveness, the ease of doing business. We dropped from 66 when Kamala left in 2015 to 105th in the world on every category. We are at a minus position in foreign direct investment. Our reserves, some people, the central bank said it was 10.6 billion US when Kamala left in 2015. I remember it being 12.26 billion US. Let's go with their figure of 10.6 billion. It is now down to 5 billion. 5 billion US had been used by Rowley and the Dwayne to prop up whom, by where, by what, under what system. He's talking about $18 billion. What have they done? No one has gotten, citizens have not gotten grants. The banks are foreclosing on people's houses. They get 3 months off, and then the fourth month they have to pay all 4 months, or else they lose it. No rental support. Still only 3 months of $1,500. We have been under lockdown for 12 months. What about the other 9 months? What about single mothers? What about the education system? What about the children that are lost? What about the 46,960 children that have not even logged on for 1 year of education, lost forever? And these people are talking about what they have to do, and they are only going to borrow, and keep borrowing. Your children, your left foot, right foot children, your PNM children will still have to pay all of that back. Yet they continue to spend money on vanity projects. They're boasting about $1 billion waterfront for San Fernando. Yes, we would like San Fernando to look pretty. But what is the economics? What are the benefits? What impact on GDP is that going to have, making the waterfront look pretty? They made the Port of Spain waterfront look pretty. Now they're going to sell the port. They have Hyatt and all these pretty buildings. What has it added to GDP? Is there an international finance center? No. The buildings looking random. The Hyatt just there. They have a name and they just using, and now the tourism industry gone through also. So what was the basis of the investment of over $20 billion on the waterfront? How much have we made back? What have we done? So you going now, you're also going in Tobago. I love Tobago, my father from Tobago, but you are going to build an airport for $1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. It was first of all budgeted when we were there for 300 million. Somehow it increased by $900 million. Why are you building an airport? Really and truly right now. The airport as it existed in 2014 under Stephen Cadiz, we brought in 94,000 tourists from outside, international tourist arrivals. By that was 2014, by 2017, 2018, under the PNM with the collapse of the Sea Bridge, that 94 to 97,000 tourists went down to 17,000. The amount of trainees who used to go across in 2014 between June and September, between June and September was 652,000. Under the PNM with the collapse of the Sea Bridge, that dropped to 159,000. So there's excess capacity in the existing airport of some 80 to 85,000 visitors. So why would you invest in an airport when for the foreseeable future, especially without vaccination, without herd immunity, tourism is going to be a dead product? So you are investing money that in 3, 4, 5 years you expect no returns. On top of that, the escalation in the cost is 500% above what it was envisaged before, while the capacity of the existing airport is underutilized. That's PNM intelligence for you. The central bank now paints a bleak picture. But before the election in 2020, this central bank, a governor who's supposed to be independent, who was espousing the fiscal policy of the government, when he's in charge of monetary policy, when he's in charge of the money supply, when he could have said when, how, where, why you change your $100 bills, he started to say it's national security reasons and that's why we're doing it. You are not involved in national security, you're not in the executive. You have to ensure that your money supply is stable and that your customers, the people, are not inconvenienced. That $100 changeover made old people line up for days and hot sun fall down, pass out and so on. And what did they do? Absolutely nothing. You get a pastor who will give back the money and they say, Baba had $1 million. But the central bank now paints a bleak picture. In November 2020, July to November, they said that 1,728 people lost jobs compared to 577 from the period before in 2019. I just read you this to show you that there are no statistics in Trinidad and Tobago. That even the central bank and IMBOT and whoever, with their lack of knowledge, they have no information. Just like COVID-19 testing, they come to tell you it's increase in Kani. Who you testing Kani? How much tests you had in Kani? You have any rapid tests in Kani? How much people are testing? Where the rapid test? Where the tracing? Where the contact tracing? And all you just believe anything them just want to tell all you. Is it true? It could be true. It might not be true. We don't know. Information science is simple. Do the test, get the result. End of story. Data, 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 more data. There is no data. All you have is a bag of clown coming every day to tell you something. Wherever they feel to tell you to move the agenda forward. We have no vaccine. He is talking about the COVID-19 and the impact on the economy. Not telling you that he shattered the economy before. But let us take the COVID-19. If what he's saying and he understands that the economy is ravaged, shouldn't they be racing to herd immunity? Shouldn't they be sprinting? Shouldn't the government be finding vaccine from anywhere and everywhere? All suppliers, Pfizer, Ansa McCall, John McCall, Jimbo, from Watusi, from Wakanda, from wherever. Shouldn't that be done? No, them relaxing. We have not a vaccine because they have heritage, and thank the thanks that we had heritage. Well, thank Bastio Pandey and the UNC. Thank Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the partnership for filling the heritage and stabilization with money and the US reserves. Foreign exchange crunch. Republic cuts its US credit line. Business Guardian, Tuesday, February 23, 2021. They cut the credit card US from 12,000 to 10,000 US, down from 17,000 in November 2020, right? And on the same paper, now the Republic Bank says we have to do that to ensure the flows, that they can handle all of their customers fairly and so on. But the Forex crunch is providing the citizens. Imagine in this article, we are in a state of depression. Before COVID, 103,000 jobs lost. During COVID, another 100,000 jobs lost. Therefore, less money chasing goods, the same amount of goods, means that there should be deflation. We still have inflation in a deflationary cycle, in a depressed economy, in an economy that has shrunk in the last 6 years by over 26%. How can we have inflation when people have no money? You want to know why? The expenses and the cost of doing business going up. They remove the gas subsidy, so the price of gas goes up, so it increases your cost. The foreign exchange rate that people have to now get on the black market, paying $8.50, $9 and so on for a US dollar, is adding to the cost of goods. The lack of credit line, international suppliers are not giving our people credit. Their credit lines have been used up. They have to find cash. Shipping lines are saying they want US cash, they don't want TT. All of these are adding to the cost of doing business. Lack of agricultural investment, lack of food production in Trinidad, lack of loop. I am now hearing, I get a soup from somewhere in Central. They say pigtail gone up 100%. So the pigtail soup had to go up and all. Medicines going up, prices going up across the board, and salaries going down, wage freeze. And the government say they're not negotiating with union, but they shatter the strongest union, the OWTU. But yet, NGC signs a deal with a Chinese company to construct a gas pipeline for new industrial estate. Do we need a new industrial estate when Point Lisas is running at 23%? What do you need a new thing for when you cannot fill your old thing? Over 11 companies have packed up and left Point Lisas because of the negotiation of Rowley and Smallpin that makes gas prohibitive, that there are no profit margins. But yet, this government signing deal to build our next industrial estate when the one we have empty. Does that make sense? Is that a good investment? And on furthermore, you're talking about NGC, but our gas supply is limited and the future is not too bright. But all over the world, they say there's a glut in natural gas. There's so much natural gas that a lot of it is going to be left where it is. Companies are not going to pull it out of the ground. What does that mean? That means for the foreseeable future, international price of natural gas will remain low because supply will be very high and it will be readily available. Things are not looking good. We have the Daily Express saying, deal with the Forex crunch. This was 26 February 2021. A glaring example in the market for foreign exchange, where competition between the government and the private sector is fueling an ever-widening parallel market between the formal and informal. In other words, a black market for the US is developing and thriving. In management, if management lacks a macro view, meaning the government, of the economy, this spells trouble. To use the current jargon, without a whole of the economy approach, the government risks undermining its own efforts at managing the economy out of these perilous waters into which it has slipped due to the sustained fall in energy before COVID-19. This is just more examples of poor management. Putting an engineer who built a stadium that fall down, who built thing in Diego Martin and the wall fall down, retaining wall fall down, but all you put he in charge of the economy. But here another gentleman, Terence Farrell. Terence Farrell, a very intelligent fellow. He was the head of the Economic Development Board under Rowley. He resigned after 18 months basically because Rowley and them are listening to he. He too bright for them, and Rowley and the recusal twins have business to conduct and have things to do and are studying he. But when election call in 2020 August, this same Terence Farrell, for whatever reason, started to espouse the virtues of Rowley and the PNM and started to attack the UNC and Kamla. And as the election done, in the Business Guardian, here Terence Farrell, in a devastating critique of the government, of the government's economic performance, economist Dr. Terence Farrell said, the country is running out of time to take strong action to live within our means. So absent a miracle, there is no way that the level and composition of government expenditure cannot now be addressed. And he continues. So you were voting for them, and now, 6 months later, we need a miracle, Terence Farrell. We need a miracle because of people like you. Your brain is useless because it's clouded with politics. Because you knew that. Why did you resign? Tell us now. Why did you resign from the Economic Development Board to allow small pin father Richard Young to then be put in a position by Rowley to discuss and to vet any and all investment that could possibly come into Trinidad and Tobago? Where were you? You left your country hanging. You promoted and increased the efficacy and efficiency of an incompetent government by backing them, supporting them, and putting your name on top of incompetence. And now you're talking about we need a miracle. The miracle that we need is to rid ourselves of the PNM malaise that glazes all your brain. It really is time for Imba to go, says Curtis Williams in the Guardian, Business Guardian, Thursday, February 18. Colin Imbert has failed as finance minister. There is no other way of saying it. He must now do the honorable thing and resign, since it is clear that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will not do what he must know is best interest of the country and sack his finance minister. The fact that the present minister does not and cannot engender confidence that he has any real plan to fix the economic woes. He just does not have the ideas, skills, or open-mindedness to solve the problems. You all feel the pain you are in is just by mistake. It is not. Ralph Maraj, former PNM, Imbert must go. The central bank said 1,700 workers retrenched. No, not 1,700. More like 17,000 in that period. Then they come in now to WASA. WASA overstaffed by 3,000 employees. 3,000 employees, all they're going to get bus road, left foot, right foot. They're talking about corruption in WASA as if the PNM was never in charge. Out of 60 years in dealing with water, the PNM has been in charge of WASA for 49 years. They're now talking about kickbacks and corruption. It's you all who put the people, you who put the staff, you who are the executives as active, and now coming to pretend like Pontius Pilate, like a Pharisee, that WASA, they're going to fix WASA. Anyway, those 3,000 employees, and all they tell them, we're PNM till we dead. Well, they're coming to kill you. Minister, millions paid in paving, kickbacks and so on, WASA. Probe launched into lying WASA manager. Them going and probe that? Why they have probe Rowley? Why they have probe Small Pin? Why they have probe Al Recusal? Why they have probe Convan Girl? If lying was a look, you just part of picture the whole PNM cabinet in red, yes? No good reason for inadequate water supply, says Gonzalez. You are just come PNM, our boy. Them don't bother with you, may you know who you is, yes? Here the incompetence, just going through the incompetence for all here. UTT probes major theft at defunct campus. So shut down education, shut down Manning's UTT, shut down black people chance to grab the brass ring and move up to higher paying jobs because Rowley don't like Manning because he went Lekoto and light a candle on Manning and look what happened. Udicott, we're not responsible for the gate falling down. I was in the Senate yesterday and my ball head get wet, yes? Water rained down on me. Needed a pothole squad. This is an editorial in the Express, you know. There are so much pothole maker editorial. Man swimming in pothole and training like it's George Bovell. Man putting plant in pothole. Women swimming around in floaty and thing and drinking scotch in pothole. And the Express writes an editorial. A pothole squad needed. And this was before. This was way back, eh? This was Tuesday, 23rd February. Before the Coast Guard man died on his motorbike because of a pothole in Central. Minister Kazim Hussain asked local government officials to account for low productivity. Well, you first, Kazim, go in the cabinet, go in the parliament, and ask your brethren them, why we have such low productivity in this cabinet? Why is this cabinet so full of nothing? Why is only 4 people who get in to run everything and only their cabinet notes going through? How come I can't get a recusal? How come the black benchers can't get a recusal? How come it's only the recusal twins in the tight pants and thing and the funny chumwing beard getting recusal? Expect food price hike, says supermarkets head. I tell all you about the pigtail already. And let me tell you something, the world is coming back to normal. The world, look at that, we not getting vaccinated. But the world is being vaccinated. Aggregate demand is going to skyrocket. Fuel prices going to go up. Your fuel subsidy has been removed. Remove it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Remove the whole thing now. And all your riot yet. It coming in all your powerful weight right there. Expect food price hike also. Foreign exchange may lead to food price hike. So on top of the gas price, the transport cost, foreign exchange will continue. Or you wouldn't be able to eat just now. So you can't drive. You have to walk on a hungry belly. Left foot, right foot. Great is the PNM. Or you keep voting stupidity. Right? But you're going with a $1 billion vision for San Fernando. Now, we skipping a few things, Archie. Let me tell you something. This one hurt me. Because remember the youths them, they rioted and they realized when they saw police treat some young black boys in a way that looked extrajudicial, and we saw it on camera. And the Minister of National Security said them black boys can't be bright enough, intelligent enough to watch a video and know that something wrong with that. Them are smart enough is UNC had to pay them to riot, right? That's your elitist, bourgeois, PNM, black man government, all you say. But Rowley come and say he put this committee together to start to see about Lamantie and the impoverished communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago, which all happen to be in PNM constituency. So they may know, they may just get 10,000 votes from there, them in the constituency, and they may know what needs to be done. They don't know the lack of resources. They don't know the sufferation. They don't know the lack of opportunity. They don't know the education, the delinquents. They don't know the lack of social workers. They don't know the need for guidance counselors and sport and investment and upliftment in sport, in facilities, in schools, in air conditioning, in books, in teachers, in anything. You don't know nothing, but it's your constituencies. So they say, plenty talk, but little action taking place. 8 months after, now 9 months after protests, residents question the work of the Community Recovery Committee. Rowley's Community Recovery Committee is doing nothing. No opportunities. Plenty talk, little action. But do you know, you have an Attorney General, while the entire economy is shattered, while we have to go in a car, your own private car, and put on mask with your wife, your girlfriend, your child. You just love up your wife upstairs and all you come out, but you have to go in the car and put on mask, or else you get ticket. And the police boasting that 7,000 citizens have been ticketed for not wearing the mask or not wearing it properly. And the man who made this law, the man who came in the Senate, and I asked him, I said, what stupidness is this about family, husband and wife wearing masks when they're living in the same house, they're going in the car? And he said, it don't make sense. But the next one, the real Attorney General, the real Gary Sobers, was on CNMG talking that nonsense and said, yes, family members have to wear masks. So not to make Small Pin look stupid when we all know he's stupid. Even Masha Javid now know he do this because she's seen him all up in Goodwood Park Day. Where does be the boy? Never no sell it out there. But this one now, this clown, Faris a la tight pants, a la flex, a la feely sexy, a la tight pants, a la recusal, a la rental, a la landlord. He who have we wearing mask in we own car with we own wife and we own child, he gone to play entertainer. Actually, show them now, show the entertainer in the tight pants. The man can't even breathe, he want to flex. Show him.
Placing some money on this one?
Nah, not this one. Not this one. The last one?
Next one we doing this in Parliament.
Doing this in Parliament.
PNM versus UNC.
Yeah.
We're going down the line, right?
Going
down the line. Yeah. Call them out, eh?
Call them out.
Taking on anybody.
Anybody.
Let me tell you something, you tight pants wearing stupid clown. Nobody I want to friend with you to come and play. You taking on PNM, taking on UNC in a flipping arm wrestle. We in Parliament to deal with serious issues. People are suffering. People are dying. Crime is getting out of hand. Women cannot get pepper spray. Our daughters are being murdered and killed and raped. And you come in to play clown like you is boys and them. Go and sing a flipping soca and come out the people think you're the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago talking about UNC. Come and do arm wrestle. We ain't want no friend with you, boy. You smelly tight pants clown. Arm wrestle. The economy in shambles. We have no vaccine. People dying. People want to work. The Venezuelan running back Venezuela. You playing games like you some soccer star because a little young girl like you and you make child. Look, boy, give me a chance, yes, boy. You are the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. You lost 31K straight. You happy you want a bet voice? Voice at least have his own money. Thy voice money. You have the taxpayer money, so you had the better fare. Why you don't give voice some rental from your building? That you sit down in cabinet and rent your own building, you clown. Like this is some game playing, like UNC and his friend. Yeah, you is not a friend, boy. But even Bridget show him. Bridget and all put you in your place. Your own speaker put you in your place today. I must say to the speaker of the house, well done. I like all they wake up and all they realize this is not no game. This is not no arm wrestle. This is not no entertainment. We are looking for no friend. Run Bridget and he said George Learty.
Order 48-1 again, respectfully. Perhaps I don't know if you've been paying attention because I see the clerk was with you, so I apologize. If you need it.
AG, so I'll just ask you to retract that last statement.
To clarify, so I...
Okay, retract and sit. Okay? And again, I'm the sole arbiter of what is relevant. You may stand on a standing order. Anybody is entitled to. I'm the final arbiter of that. Please proceed, Member for Kubasa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Again, please.
Member for San Fernando West, the Minister of Finance, in his presentation, made certain comparisons with one period versus another period. Okay? So that I take this as responding to that. Please continue, Kuba.
48-1, Madam Speaker. I write.
And members, everybody has a right to rise on a standing order. And while everybody has a right, it's also not a right to be abused. Okay? So I ask members to be tolerant when another member rises and leave it for the chair to determine. Attorney General, I overrule, and I would also say that we also have other rights we could exercise in here when we have a little challenge. Member for Cuba South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Bridget, and he said, George, put your tight pants in your place. Faris Al-Rawi, Al-Recusal, Al-Awos Attorney General in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. You find things so nice. The country is going so good for you because you get 23 million in rent, plus 18 million already given to outfit your building, plus another 20 million approved to outfit your own building, plus your whole family have about 100 million collected each year. Everybody else in pressure, man, recovery committee doing nothing. Young people are no work, no education, no laptops, no jobs, no NESC, no MIC, nothing going on. COVID shutdown, no vaccination, place crumbling. Venezuelans don't even know what's going on. They want to go back home. You're re-registering them. The country in total chaos. People dying from pothole, people dying from starvation, and you playing, you some kind of soca star with voice and them. Voice and them we love. Let them sing the music. Them have to make the money and entertain we. You is the Attorney General and the country is in shambles. You're playing games but bring UNC to do arm wrestle. I don't even want to touch your hand but to get rushed. The amount of makeup you have on your hand from putting makeup to going to the Senate. Give me a chance. Go and do all your work. Trinidad and Tobago politics is not no game to be playing, you know. We are in total mess. All you type something and tell me what's going good. Because you see me, I go in and drink some good coffee and go and watch some good TV and pray to the good Lord that all you learn that the PNM must get out of Trinidad and Tobago forever. That Rowley and Recusal twins and this convent girl are totally undeserving of the portfolio, serious portfolio to deal with issues of people's lives. Them playing game with arm wrestle. Look, Archie, I've gone, boy. Bless.
Politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah.